Hello, today I'm here standing in front of a bit of a different lake. I think it's quite beautiful. We've got the poplars and the willows growing there, we've got the reeds, we've got the beautiful blue sky with the little white fluffy clouds. No volcanoes, of course, it's a little bit different. But it's nice to be out in the countryside, it's out, kind of back by a lake again. And I'm here today to talk with you about the Trecena of Tz'i. Now, we can get an understanding of what the Tz'i Trecena might bring us by understanding what the renewal Tz'i is all about. And of course, this is my interpretation, this is my understanding, or the way that I see it. Let's put it that way. Okay? And so, the Trecena of Tz'i, what does Tz'i represent? Faith, loyalty, justice, and unconditional love. Those are four qualities that I would strongly associate with the renewal Tz'i. We would also say, on the other hand, that Tz'i can also represent the vices. So, if we're talking about this as being an underlying current, a thread or a theme that weaves its way through the next 13 days, we can see that faith and loyalty and justice and unconditional love may be some rather strong ones. Now, that might also bring out our vices somewhere in there. Maybe we'll see that as we go through the days of the Trecena. But, like for me, this is very much what we're looking at. Now, we're going to start the Trecena of Tz'i with the day 1C because, I kind of like there's quite a crossover between them. So I want to kind of like be making sure that they're, included within each other, you see. Because we have the number 1 representing novelty, representing birth, representing rebirth and beginnings. Now, if we're applying that to faith, then we might see it as a renewal of faith, a rebirth of faith. We might see it as kind of like something which brings back our level of unconditional love. We might also see Tz'i, our dogs, being the guides in our world. And in particular, it might be seen as, kind of like spiritual guidance. And so it might be new guidance coming to us at this time. Maybe that's what, renews our faith, kind of like we thought we'd lost our way. Maybe 20 days ago on 7th when we lost our old dog. Now here comes a new dog to guide us. But we've got to have faith that it's taking us in the right direction and it knows what it's doing, right? We can also see it as justice, okay? And that these 13 days may have a great emphasis on justice being done in our world. I'm sure that there's some places in our society right now where, let's say, our faith in humanity is wavering because of a perceived lack of justice. Okay? So, as I said, this day 1C is the beginning of it. Now, those 1 days, they're going to come round every 13 days. 1T will come round every 260 days. And it's, sometimes we get something that rebuilds our faith, right? Kind of like, I don't know, something happens. And just when we kind of like felt like maybe the world wasn't going in a direction that we were particularly happy about, something happens that reminds us, that brings back our faith in humanity, brings back our faith in society. Maybe 1T is just such a day. Maybe it's a day that we also kind of like have to remember where to find the unconditional love within us, because that's what Tz'i can also represent. That's what our dogs do. That's what they represent. They love us unconditionally. Okay, so we've got those aspects in there as well. We could also see Tz'i can represent the vices. Now, kind of like I'm not necessarily saying that it's a great day to take up a new vice. Probably not that's the best use of the day 1C. But it might be a great day to receive new guidance on how to overcome a vice that maybe you've had an issue with throughout your life, and that these 13 days, kind of like could be a great day or a time to, receive that guidance to help you to understand how to overcome something, how to overcome a certain temptation or something. Okay, so 1 day packed with a lot of potential, I think, and certainly a day to be on the lookout for new guidance, guidance that might renew your faith in the world. From 1 we then going to move into 2 bats. So again, this is there's many kind of like things that we can see with 2 bats, many very positive ways of looking at it. Bats we can see as creativity. It's the weaving, the bringing together of the thread, the weaving of time itself, the weaving of things which bring great beauty to our world. Now, as I stand here before you, wearing a black t-shirt, it's a monochrome t-shirt, okay? Hopefully, I quite like it. It looks okay, right? But if I was to bring in another color, if I was to bring in white, for example, so that I have the 2 polar opposites from the number 2, what could I do then? Well, I could weave letters onto this shirt. I could weave letters, I could weave a pattern into this shirt if I brought the black thread and the white thread together. There is a greater degree of communication and creativity that can come through bringing those 2 different colours together. Now, they might be 2 opposing colours. It's going to bring great contrast. Hopefully, it can bring the ability to bring beauty out in things. And so, kind of like for me, it's almost like, how can we take 2 things from opposite sides and weave them together to create something beautiful and to create something greater than the sum of the wholes? Well, if there was anybody to ask about that, it would be the Nawal Bats, the creative genius, right? And so it's an understanding of how to weave together 2 opposites in order to create a thing of beauty. Now, with the number 2 also representing relationships, and bats can also represent marriage, because again, it's like the weaving together of 2 threads. We can see 2 bats as being quite a romantic day, or having the potential to be quite a romantic day, whether it's starting a new romance or, kind of like, let's say, weaving some magic into an old one. It's a great day for doing that. We could also see, kind of like there might also be the 2 sides of bats, because, kind of like bats can be beautiful with what it does, but it can also be rather critical with what it does. Maybe that's going to come out as well, but maybe sometimes we need that critical eye. We need to have faith in what we're weaving. Okay? And so, as we go through on this Trecena, which incorporates unconditional love, this day 2 bats might be a great day to weave what you love into life. From 2 bats, we then go to 3 Now, this is a kind of interesting and rather unusual, slightly strange combination for me anyway, simply because we have which represents the journey and the walker of paths, very much getting out into the world kind of Nawal, exploration and novelty and all that kind of thing, combined with the number 3, which is very much, as far as I can see, about not getting out into the world, because the number 3, it can represent some challenges in the outer world, but for me, it's because the power and creativity of the 3 lies within. The power and creativity of the 3 lies in the home. And so this is where I see it's kind of strange, because we've got which wants to go out, and 3, which wants to stay home. Okay? For me, 3 days are often great days for looking within. They're great days for meditation, for introspection, for being within your home place. And here we see it with the Nawal about going on an adventure. about finding novelty, about, kind of like going on that journey. And so here we see 3 very much representing the inner journey. Now, if we said that on 1 Tz'i we receive new guidance, new faith, new loyalty, then maybe the 3 is really about going within and exploring the path within that takes us on, exploring how that feels, meditating with it and feeling. So, kind of like I think I've said before, for me, 3 days are usually good days to travel. 3 might not be the best day to travel. There might be more bumps on the road than usual, or, unforeseen delays, that kind of thing. And so, why not stay home? Why not go within and go on that journey within yourself? Maybe that's also where we need to find that faith that needs to be renewed. Maybe that's also where we need to find that unconditional love. From 3 we then move to 4 So the renewal of the home, the renewal of community, the renewal of harmony within the home and community. And here, combined with the number 4, the physical plane of existence. The number 4 very much representing the material. And of course, it's pretty difficult to have faith in much, if it's not stable. For me, there are days on which, obviously the 3 day I'm talking about, going within and, going on your inner journey and meditation and that. And then there's days when we got to get out and do stuff. Because, we live in this 3D world. We got to, do various things that keep us alive and keep things working. And 4 is a great day to be focusing on the practical aspects within your community, within your home. It's all very well kind of like doing all the, let's say, right things, but if the foundation is rotten, if the home's falling down, then you need to address that first, let's say. And so a very practical day for going out there and working out what needs to be addressed and how. Could be a great day to be working on your home. Could also be a great day to be bringing stability to your community and bringing stability through very practical ways. Because of course, kind of like there could be, there's many ways to bring it in. But that 4 is really, really down to earth. And it's kind of like if we don't get the foundation sorted out, then anything that we build on top of it is likely to fall down, So we have to build this firm, stable base. Might not be the most inspiring and exciting kind of thing in the world. Might be almost a little bit monotonous. But if we don't get it right, then nothing else can be built on top of it. And so for me, 4 is about addressing those kind of things, getting the practicalities of life sorted out, getting the stability in our home and in our community. From 4 we then move into 5 Ish. So Ish, the renewal of the earth, the renewal of our connection to Mother Earth, to the spirit of the earth, of our connection to the sacred sites, to the shrines, to the altars, and to the natural spaces themselves. Now, Ish, we could also see as our connection to what we might call our magic. It's about going and speaking with Mother Earth and asking her for what we need. This is one of the things that Ish can do and, usually gets listened to. But there's also a part of that which implies that we also have to balance it up. We can't just be going and asking and asking and taking and that kind of thing. There has to be a reciprocal arrangement. And when we see Ish combined with the number 5 representing work, representing having to put our work into it, having to put our energy into it, This, for me, I like to say, it's not going to just drop in our lap. We actually need to do something about it. So it's a great day to get working in your local environment, in a local sacred site or sacred space, something like that. Go clean it up. Go, kind of like show some love to Mother Nature. Put your effort into it. Now, of course, it may be difficult. Well, that's what putting some effort into it is going to bring, right? If it was easy, if it just dropped in our laps, well, it wouldn't quite work out the same. And so, 5-ish is a great day to be going and working with Mother Earth. 5-ish is also a great day to be working on your connection, because we all have one. We're all connected to Mother Earth. I mean, obviously, we're physically connected to her, but we all have an energetic connection to Mother Earth. And, like any other practice, we can't just expect that connection to strengthen and grow because we like it. We've got to go out and practice. We've got to go out and do the work. And for me, 5-ish is a great day to be doing that. From 5-ish, we then move into 6 Tzikin. So, Tzikin, the renewal of the bird. Tzikin, the bird that flies up high. And from its place up high, from its vantage point, it can see the way ahead. Seeing the way ahead gives us the ability to see through to a sustainable future, let's say. Tzikin can represent prosperity, but that prosperity is not at any cost, not at whatever cost. That prosperity has to come in alignment with what Tzikin can see, and what Tzikin can see in the future. We're not just talking about, kind of like 10 years, we might be talking about 50 years or 100 years down the road. And so it has to build sustainability into whatever it's doing. It's no good making a short-term profit for themselves. They've got to be thinking about their grandchildren. They've got to be thinking about the future generations and how their vision will work with the earth. Now, thankfully, when we bring that 6 in, this is exactly something that can happen, because the 6, having the grounded foundation like the 4, but drawing on the heart of the sky and the heart of the earth in order to connect them to, brings a great deal of stability to whatever it is attached to. So this is bringing ultimate stability to the vision. Now, the number 6 can also represent family, because it's the coming together of the masculine and the feminine in the physical plane. And so we could see this as understanding of how to bring stability to our vision for our family. And so it's a great day to ask for that vision to come in if it's something that we're looking for. And of course, when we take that back in the Trecena of Tz'i, we see, the faith and loyalty and the unconditional love that comes in the Trecena of Tz'i. So of course, kind of like this idea of how can I really bring great stability for my family and future generations? How can I bring my vision in? 6 Tzikin may be a great day to be asking that kind of question. From 6 Tzikin, we then move to 7 Achmach. So Achmach representing forgiveness. Achmach representing being a human, acceptance. And here we have it with the number 7. Now the number 7 can represent standing on top of a mountain or a pyramid, looking out and working out which choices we have, which decisions we want to make. And it may be that maybe there's something that needs to be forgiven that's been hanging around for rather a long time. Let's say that you know it's hanging around in your field. It's time to let go of it. It's time to draw a line under it. Now, whether that is going to impact on somebody else or not, is regardless. It's a time to finally let go of something. To maybe forgive yourself or forgive somebody else. I personally don't like the idea of forgive and forget, because I feel that if we forget, then we're going to repeat it. So maybe that's not the best kind of like way to look at it. But I think it's like forgive and move on. It's forgive, draw a line under it and say, right, okay, that's done. Come on, clean slate. Let's begin again. Okay, let's release ourselves from something which has been holding us back. Something needs to be forgiven. Okay, so that's one way that we could look at it. We can also see with that seven achmach, it's kind of like make your choices. When you're standing there kind of like looking around, it's almost as if like choose what it is that you're here to forgive. Okay, and do it, draw a line under it, finish it, it's done, move on. Okay, maybe that also has to do with that like bringing out of the faith and the unconditional love from it. From seven achmach, we then move into eight noch. So noch, the nawal of the mind, the nawal of the brain, the nawal of information and knowledge and thought. And here we see it with the number 8, which can represent wholeness. I like to think of the number 8. It's like if we imagine, like if we said that that was a 1 and represented beginnings, and this was a 7 and represented endings, or the 1 representing birth and the 7 representing death, then we kind of like we go into life from the 1, and then we go into death from the 7, and so on and so on, and the whole cycle goes round and round and round again. Okay, and so when we have the 8 noch coming in like this is the wholeness of thought. This is the whole idea. This is the wholeness of the information. I like to think of it as the wholeness of the brain. As I said, the right brain and the left brain, the logical and the artistic coming together in order to solve a problem. And for me, this is again one of the things I think is in there. It's like we can't solve the problem from just one viewpoint. We can't solve the problem with missing information. We need to understand the whole idea. We need to gather all of the information in order to come up with the correct answer. 8 Noach is a great day for me doing that. 8 Noach can be a great day to make ceremony, to give thanks for our ability to come up with the solutions. And it can be a great day to make a ceremony to give thanks for all the knowledge that we've received. Okay, so again, as far as thinking days go, 8 Noach might be a great day to find your answer, to have faith in the answer. From 8 Noach, we move to 9 Tihash. So we have Tihash, the nawal of the obsidian blade, the nawal of the warrior, combined with the number 9, which can represent the feminine and it can represent life. So firstly, kind of one of the things I'd like to bring out with that would be, I always sort of like 9 Tihash always brings me this image of this independent female warrior. Okay, because it's got those elements to it. Tihash can be a great healing day. It can also be a great purification day. Now, I mentioned at the beginning of this video, I mentioned about the vices, and Tihash is the one that comes along and clears things out. It comes along, cuts things away. It does the surgery. And so when we see that with the number 9, I mean, it's like literally like the purification of life. I mean, of course, this is going to fall in the Trecena, right? Okay, and so there is that aspect of it. We can also see it as the surgery that brings life. Okay, so again, we can see it as a very, very good day for any form of surgery you might need. We can see that 9 Tihash is also a great day, kind of like to have a quest for finding the truth in life. Okay? And we need the nose of the dog. We need faith. We need guidance. maybe all of those things are kind of like coming into that culmination on that 90 hash day, because, kind of like it's a real day for women cutting through to the truth of matters. So it can be a powerful day. I mean, as I said before, surgery is not painless, okay? Sometimes it's going to sting for a while, but it needs to happen in order to purify and in order to, kind of like bring out the divine in things. So 90 hash might be also a great day on which to visit women healers, because, kind of like this should be a day on which their power, their intuition, and their insight is particularly strong. From 90 hash, we then move into 10 Kawok. So another feminine healing day. The Nawal Kawok representing the rain, also representing midwifery, midwives. The rain being the one that helps to birth the maize back into the world, you see. And so we see it with the number 10 representing community, representing hands coming together, representing society. And it makes me want to mention the Community Midwife Project in San Marcos. And if you feel that that might be something to make a donation to, I'll put their details in the information below this video, so that you can help to support what I believe to be a very helpful project. So, Kawok can be seen as washing obstacles away. Hopefully, the rain has begun to fall in Guatemala. Hopefully, the green has come back to the world. Life has come back to the world. And, I have to say that when those first rains fall, the strength of those rains can be quite scary. Sometimes it's going to, they're going to get floods coming through. Sometimes there might be things falling down. Sometimes, kind of like the rain comes and you think, oh my goodness, did I remember to clean out the gutters or whatever it will? Well, the rain's going to sort them out if you didn't. Maybe not in a way that you intended it to, because that strength comes through. It pushes out of the way what needs to be cleared, the filth of the old world, so that the new life can come in. And here we see it with the number 10, and this is talking about society. So this is clearing out, let's say, well, the filth of society, so that the new birth can come in. Well, I'm sure that there's a few things that we can think about that might be representing right now. Kawok, as I say, tough love is what I associate with Kawok. She knows this is for the best. This has got to happen in order for the healing to happen. But it's, again, it's kind of like after we have the surgery on 90 hash, Kawok comes along to do the aftercare, but sometimes she's going to have to peel that band-aid off. Ready? 1, 2, 3, off it comes, kind of thing. In order for the healing to be completed. We see it with cooperation, with agreement within community. And so this is like cooperation to bring the new era in, to bring the new birth, to bring the new life into being. So it can be a very, very helpful day. It can be a very, very useful day. Might be a bit of a tough day, but it's a day for getting things moving, particularly in community, to wash away the old in order for the new to prevail. From 10 Kawok, we then move to 11 Achpu. Okay, so Achpu representing the sun, representing the flower, representing the Lord, representing our connection to, kind of like the upper kingdom, the kingdom of the sun, as it were. Okay, and so when we see this coming in, we can also see this as being kind of like our connection to a higher state, our connection to a higher place. Now, they say that those that carry Achpu can be very attracted to those kind of ideas. And so it may well be from a very young age that Ahpu people are looking for, right, how do I get back to the source? How can I, kind of like find, what's really going on behind the scenes here? And this can take them into mysticism and shamanic practice and all these kind of things. And here we can see it with the number 11, and the number 11 may be looking in many different places to find signs of that. And some of those places might not actually kind of like necessarily be, well, seem like they're connected. The number 11 can be rather spontaneous in its way. The number 11, kind of like will bring out things which are, let's say unusual. Things which we might not like, as I say, see as being connected. It's a strong number, and so it might guide us very strongly to go and check this out, then go and check that out, then go and check that out. And eventually we'll understand maybe how everything comes together. But, for me, when I see the 11 Arpu, it's kind of like understanding that there's a bit of the divine in everything. And I feel that there's also something with the 11 where it's very much about following our instincts. Okay? So sometimes the 11 might throw us up some ideas where we think, well, hang on, I was going in that direction. I'm getting this instinct or this intuition to go in that direction, go and research this or something like that. You think, I don't even know where these things are supposed to fit together. Well, 11 Arpu is a great day to just say, I don't know, but I'm going to go and find out anyway. Okay, so on 11 Arpu, you may get some, let's say, callings from some areas which you weren't expecting. And maybe they're all part of the divine puzzle that you need to be integrating. Okay? Have faith in it. So from 11 Arpu, we then go into 12 Imosh. So we have Imosh representing the lake, representing the water, representing the ocean, representing our connection with everybody else around us, representing our, the psychic field around us, the dream world, the visionary world. And we see it connecting with the number 12. The number 12 representing bringing together of all of our life's experiences. Okay? Now, if we see all of our life's experiences brought together with the Nawal of the dream, this might be all of our life dreams. This might be an understanding of how to put it all together. This might be an understanding of like how to have faith that we can bring our life dreams into existence. All of the ones that we've had in the past, how can we bring them all together? We can also see that it's a strong day. That 12 is a strong number. The Imosh connects us with everybody else around us. And so, it might be kind of like, might feel a bit overwhelmed with it as well. If we understand that we're feeling what everybody else is feeling around us, then, this could be a very, very strong day. And so maybe this is also where our life experience comes in to help us to understand what they're thinking and what is what I'm thinking. What is what they're feeling, what is what I'm feeling. To understand, kind of like where us finishes and where other starts, so that we can embrace our individuality, but also to understand through our life experience, kind of like what also makes us part of the whole as well. And then finally, we're going to finish up this Trecena on the day 13 Ich. So we have Ich, the wind, Ich representing communication, and here with the number 13 representing spirit, representing the ancestors. Well, this is a very, very powerful day. Ich is one of the most powerful Nawals as it is. The strongest Nawals are often seen as Ich, Kech, and Kan. Okay? And when we turn those up, when we're turning them up to 13, for example, then they become extremely powerful. We can see 13 ik might have, kind of like a great message, but it might also represent the hurricane. It might be very destructive, or it might be very inspiring. It could be either. We could see the 13, the nawal, or the number, representing spirit and the ancestors. Kind of like we could see that this is communication from spirit. We could see that it's communication from the ancestors. It might be a fantastic day to go sit with a medium or ask for a message to come through, because quite honestly, with the number 13, I mean, we should all be tapped into that energy anyway. And, the voice of the ancestors may come flowing through very, very freely and easily. You might not necessarily need too much help to get you in touch with it. It's a great day to be on the lookout for the words coming through, for the messages that come from the other world. If we started this Trecena of Tz'i, the beginning of faith, the beginning of guidance, we're ending it on 13 Ik, which is, it's literally guided us to the messages that come from the ancestors. And if this, kind of like works out as being, the grand finale of the Trecena of Tz'i, then we can certainly see how it might have like returned our faith and our guidance to us if we receive that message from the ancestors at the end of it. Now, I would also say on 13 Ik to be aware of our words that we're using, because they're extremely powerful on that day, and it could go either way. And certainly, kind of, let's say, a little communication goes a long way on that day. So be aware of your words and the impact that they might have, because on the day 13 Ik, you might find that they have a heck of a lot more impact than you were expecting them to have. Okay, so hopefully this is a Trecena that will renew our faith in the world. This is a Trecena where we see justice, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you again in 13 days time for the Trecena of Akabal. Thank you.